Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dungeons and Deductibles. I am your friendly neighborhood GM, Danielle, and these are my lovely players. Yay! You'll notice that today we are down a player. Funnily enough, we just have the core adjusters. Poppy, our resident head of HR, who has been tagging along for performance reviews, has unfortunately been called back to the office for some paperwork and is on leave today. But that being said, still have lots of fine folks here with me today. And we'll go ahead and go around to do introductions, starting with Robert today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are time zone-wise. I'm Robert Dowd, Kentucky Hawkeye, and I will be playing Scandalon Obadias IV. He is a male protector Asmar, he, him, and he, through some chicanery in earlier seasons, was forced by an insurance claim to become an employee here after the temple filed a claim, and now he has stuck around to try to make sure we can root out what evil we can in all of this business.
Yes, there is evil to be rooted out. Indeed.
And if there's evil to root out, I will root it. I am root.
Next up, Jake.
Hi everyone, I'm Jake. I'll be playing Red Fireson, the Fire Genasi and Warlock of the Great Old One. Who knows who the Great Old One is, but new hire for Waterdavian Farms. So
yes. And last but not least, Cynthia.
Hi, I'm Cinchu, and if I ever remember to log into Twitter, you would find me there as @IamCinchu. And I'm playing Mildred Crabtree, a gnome monk with a couple of levels in Bard as well. And I just want to apologize for earlier when you could barely see me. I'm having lighting issues because the sun is setting earlier now and I can't see my dice. So I had to go and fetch a desk lamp from somewhere else in the house.
I know the feeling. I've got all the lights on in here that I can because it is completely pitch dark outside at this point.
It's a pain because if I have the light on behind me, it puts my face in shadow and you can't see, my gorgeousness that, I know you all come here for. And then
yes, we can't be deprived of that now.
But if I have no light on, suddenly it's pitch black in here and I can't see my dice. So they do no one any good. It's
that's okay.
It's a mess.
Good. You look good right now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think you look good too.
Thank you. So last week, you all set out on a slightly depressing claim, a little bit more so than usual. It was a life insurance claim for one Ted Stumbletoe. And as you found out from Poppy, these Stumbletoes are sort of the Corleones of halfling crime families in Waterdeep. And Poppy knows that because her family is also involved in some dubious activities in the city. And so they don't have a particularly friendly relationship with the Stumbletoes. Ted Stumbletoe was killed during a home invasion. And basically the payout on his policy is just determined by whether or not the death was sort of accidental or whether the death was the result of some other outside circumstance, such as being murdered. And so that was the only thing you really needed to go in to determine and make sure that they claim this was all because of, a home invasion. Going in and making sure that is true, especially when the last two cases you've worked on have been fraudulent. So that was something of a concern going into this one as well. I believe there was some contact of the plane to determine that this case is not fraudulent. And you all went to the house of the Stumbletoes for a not the funeral, but basically the family's having people over right now, receiving condolences and such. Their house is very nice, and it backs right up onto the City of the Dead, which is the big, massive graveyard in Waterdeep. Most cities have one. This just happens to be Waterdeep's. And you got to meet Miranda Stumbletoe, who was Ted's wife. She was not thrilled with Poppy. There was some interesting dynamic there. But she did assign one of her butlers to you to basically walk you through the house so that you could get a look at anything in particular you wanted to. So you guys spent some time investigating Ted's study, which is where he was found. Not finding anything of particular note. And then you went downstairs to look at where the break-in occurred of the home. And that was where you saw the footprints that led back to the City of the Dead. And you all went over the fence into the City of the Dead and followed these footprints back to a mausoleum. And that is where we ended last time, with the discovery of this mausoleum. And I told you that the name on the mausoleum was Hayes, and that this was a family that you all recognized to some degree, fairly well-known mercantile family, not nobility, but pretty powerful. You've got some folks in politics and things like that. But the real kicker is that you know that there is a Hayes in the upper management of all city insurance as well. So you're standing here in front of this mausoleum that is the footprints leading, well, they don't lead to, they lead from the mausoleum. I guess I should be clear on that. Like someone came out of it. Poppy has been called away. She's realized that she has some paperwork she's been neglecting at the office, and she said, I'll leave you to it, and just heads back to the office, seemingly losing interest in the case, at least for now. That leaves just the three of you, the actual claims adjusters in this party.
When she's out of sight, Red goes, "Oh, thank goodness she's gone. Now I can summon the great old one I worship, and we can just get through all this." And just waits for a second, sees how you
Great
guys.
Old one, you say?
I'm joking. I don't think I can do that, but yeah, it's just. I think she is evaluating me, even though she said she wasn't. I'm not sure though.
In a business such as Waterdavian Farm, when it comes to people in any kind of administrative position, you have to remember there's only one time when those people are lying to you. And that's when their lips are moving.
Well, that's really helpful information, Scandalon, because like I've told you, I was just adventuring, and it's essentially just us out there, and we're trying to make money for ourselves and help people if we can. So I'm not quite used to this money making.
It does take some getting used to.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
Well,
stop because you weren't insured.
I mean, I stopped because it's very dangerous. It's a long story, and there were interpersonal issues with my group, and it is very sad to see other innocent people get affected by us doing our job and rooting out evil. And, we're hired to retrieve something, or root out evil or save someone, and other people get inadvertently affected and they can't recover even if we give them money. So I gave 200 gold to someone one time whose farm was partially affected by a dragon, and I come back later and it's the farm is in the same situation, and who knows where that money went. So it's all very sad.
That is sad. Well, we're glad to have you with us, however you got here.
Yeah, now we're surrounded by dead people, but we can talk to them if need be. So I've got a spell for that.
Good to know.
Good to know if we get to that point. Shall we go inside?
Sure, I'm following
Sure.
all of your leads.
All right, I checked the door to see if it's locked.
The mausoleum door is not locked.
Okay.
It's just big and kind of bulky, but you're pretty sure you could get it open.
All right, I suppose I better go ahead and check for traps just in case there's valuables that people were buried with.
Sure, you can give me a perception check if you want.
I'd like to assist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And do we see like guards wandering with torches or anything? This is the middle of the day, though,
It's
right?
middle of the day, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're not alone in here. I mean, there are other people kind of wandering through, visiting gravestones and things like that. I mean, if you've ever been to a graveyard during the day, there's usually a few folks about bringing flowers or, things of that nature.
13.
Okay. You don't see anything that looks like a trap. I mean, there's no obvious pressure plates or anything like that.
All right, I grab a hold of the handle for the door and open it.
Yeah, so you give it a... I'm trying to think if mausoleums open in or out. I guess they would open out.
I wouldn't know either way.
Inward, because most people would be walking in with their first contact with it, as opposed
Good
to outward.
point. Okay, so you push the mausoleum door in, and it kind of groans a little bit on its hinges, and you can see now inside this mausoleum there is there are like little niches along the sides, and you can see there's like different names and like people who've been interred in these little niches, and then there is a door in the back of the mausoleum.
Go ahead.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor using my Eldritch Invocation, which allows me to do that at will.
Cool.
And then cast Detect Magic.
Okay. I'd say there's not really a lot of magic in here. There's maybe like a faint hint of abjuration magic, maybe some protective spells or something like that. But
just in general around the room, or in a specific spot.
Okay. Maybe some kind of like blessing or something like that to keep this place safe. But nothing that you would consider to be out of the ordinary or anything like that.
Sounds good.
Do we see any more of the tracks or footprints like we saw coming?
Great question.
Out on the floor in here?
You do. So just like the stoop had kind of like a layer of dust, and you could see the footprints in the dust, that extends in here as well. And you can see that whatever came out of here came from a door in the back.
Okay. All right. Slowly walk towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
I test it to see if it's locked and if it's rigged as well.
This one is locked.
Okay. Anyone better than I'm not proficient with lockpick or anything like that. Are you?
Neither am I.
Mildred?
Checking.
Because I'll do it, but if you're more proficient, then I will bow to you.
Do you have any with you?
Yeah, I've got some lockpicks that I always carry with me when I'm on our quest for the temple.
How deft are you with your hands?
I'd say my dex is about like a package of eggs, even dozen.
I better do it.
Okay.
I take out, from my ear, I take out an earring that's got a weird shape. And then another one. And I bend to the lock and I start futzing with it.
All right. Go ahead and give me that sleight of hand with your thieves' tools, which gives, I think, proficiency. If you have proficiency, you get to add it.
I don't, but I do have a half proficiency at sleight of hand, so
Well, that'll help.
something. Even with that, 10.
Okay. You tinker with the lock. You take your earrings out and start kind of going at it. You don't seem to be having too much success.
I make a face as I hear a ting and it's not the right ting. And I pull them out to check they're not broken and put them back in my ears. Nope, you try.
Okay. I'll give it a whirl. Sleight of hand?
Yes, please.
Okay. A strong, massive 10.
We're awesome together.
You have a similar experience where you get out your lock-picking tools, bend down to the lock, and start going, tinkering with it. You don't seem to be having any luck, but then again, this isn't really your specialty. Mm-hmm. So,
would you like me to give it a shot?
Might as well.
All yours, good sir.
I might have picked up a few tricks from... I had a rogue in my previous adventuring party named Coco, and he was very good at this, so...
And maybe Shafafana can help you out as well.
Oh, good idea.
He's just been staring at me. I don't think our relationship is in a good spot right now. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I'll give it a shot. That is +2. I rolled a 15, so 17.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Thank heavens.
So, Red takes over the lockpicks and only has to mess with it for, a few seconds before you hear the chink of the tumbler, and you are sure that the door is unlocked now.
We set it up for you.
I lean back to Scandal and say, we warmed it up.
Definitely. I mean, these things, if you don't regularly oil them, they just get, seized up. And yeah, I think you guys unseized it.
Okay. All right, I take the handle and I open the door.
Okay. You push the door open, and you are now looking at a passageway leading down. So like a staircase, basically, that heads down into the earth. It is it's carved from stone. But the stairs themselves have been faced with some kind of tile to make them like a little bit easier to walk down, basically. So it's not like completely rough stone stairs. Like it's been worked a little bit. But the walls and the ceiling overhead are much more rough. And there isn't any kind of handrail or anything like that. OSHA has not been through here. It is very dark. There's a little bit of light you kind of hear at the top coming in from outside. But down past a couple of feet, it's extremely dark. And I do not recall, but does everyone have dark vision?
I have dark vision.
Yep.
All right, we're good. This is 5e. Everyone has dark vision except humans. So yeah, you can see down a little bit with your dark vision a little bit further. Dark vision out to 60 feet is typically standard.
60.
So you can see what looks like a full 60 feet down, and it keeps going a little bit past that. You're not sure how far.
Do we see any of the footsteps again coming up the steps? Any footmarks?
Yes, you would see them on the stairs coming up. Yeah.
Okay. I continue to follow them.
Okay.
I'm gonna just pause everybody and say quietly, Scandalon, don't you have the ability to know if there are any undead in these?
Yes, I do.
Would you just have a look?
Sure. I will cast Detect Good and Evil.
Okay. Remind me again what the range is on your Detect Good and Evil.
All right.
30.
It is 30 feet, lasts up to 10 minutes.
Okay. So right now, you don't sense anything.
Okay.
But as you have it for 10 minutes, so as you can descend the staircase, I will continue to update you.
I can also turn us invisible if we think that's necessary, all of us.
All of us?
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yes, even you, Shafafana.
Well, Chafafan is already invisible, but theoretically.
I don't know how you don't see him. He's pretty obnoxious.
Well, maybe he's only visible to you. I don't know if anybody else can see him. I
Yeah.
haven't seen anyone reacting to his presence. I never know where he is.
I just gotta get a restoration spell.
So that he can be visible?
So maybe he can leave.
We'll
Either
run
way.
by the temple later.
So invisibility, yay or nay?
How long does it last?
It lasts up to 1 hour.
Well, I hope we won't be here that long, so maybe? I mean,
Sounds
if you
good.
feel like spending the energy for it.
Or
Yeah.
if you want to wait till we get a little further along, up to you.
I think I should do it now while we have the
Okay.
chance.
All right.
Just knowing how these things go. So he's going to pull out his book and turn a few
So exciting.
pages and start casting it. And
This is so exciting. I've never been invisible before.
yeah, everyone's invisible now.
I quickly look down. Do I see myself?
You don't see yourself.
Yeah, I wondered how that works. Like if it's like some you can see yourself still, even though other people can't see you, or if it's like you just.
No, I would say if you're invisible, and you cannot see yourself either.
Unless you had true sight or something, yeah.
Yeah, or I would say if you were the caster and you also had detect magic running, I would say you could see like the outline of your own illusion magic. But
Good call. I like that.
This is wild. I know I'm here, and I know my hands are up. I can feel them.
Takes some getting used to.
Mildred basically pretends she's in the Ministry of Silly Walks for quite some time because this is fun.
you could go to borrow Poppy's boots.
I don't need to. I can walk silly all on my own. I am a monk.
And so the drunken master, you're the silly master, right?
Well, I mean, It's supposed to be drunken, but it's mainly just klutzy, really.
Okay.
I don't
All
have
right.
to try too hard to have a silly walk.
All right, I lead us on.
Okay. So you all start heading down this staircase into the depths. And you go down about at a guess, probably about 80 feet or so. So not too much past your dark vision sight when you were up top. And at that point, this staircase becomes an actual chamber, no longer a staircase. So you're on level ground again.
What is our marching order?
I think Robert's.
I believe I'm in front, so whoever wants to, whatever order you want to follow behind.
I'll be next.
Okay, I'll take the back.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of distance things going.
So you emerge into this chamber, and there is. So this is definitely. It's not an. Well, maybe I guess ossuary might be the best term. So this is a larger funerary chamber of sorts down here. So you can see there are some full-on sarcophaguses that have, like an effigy of the person laying on them, or like a statue posed above them, and they're just set sort of in niches going down the line. There are like actual ossuaries where there's like sections of the wall where it's literally just like the bones have been placed in, and you can see like little plaques in some instances saying the names. The chamber is pretty big. Easily runs 60 feet out to the left and 60 feet out to the right. So it's the exact ends of this room are a little bit beyond your sight. However, directly across from you, about 30 feet away or so, is another door. Or doors, rather, I should say. This is a set of double bronze doors, and they're carved with a family crest of sorts. So your classic quartered shield with the the ribbon underneath, and the icons on the shield are what looks like a diamond and a bird of prey, a raptor.
Do we recognize this as being the family crest for the Hayes family or anyone else?
It stands to reason that it's probably the Hayes family. You probably wouldn't know off the top of your head whether it was or not, but that's a reasonable guess. And the other thing, is it 30 feet? You can sense an undead nearby. It's kind of fun.
Okay. Beware. I sense something.
Maybe we can talk to him.
Put my hand on my sword. Do the footsteps lead to the double doors?
Harder to see down here because you're no longer on like cut tile anymore. With that layer of dust, you're in on like proper stone.
Anyone object if I bring some light to the room? I pull out a dagger and I cast light on it so we can see.
Just in case, I'm going to ready some darts for throwing, but also glance and see if I recognize any of the names on the nearby.
On this like row of sarcophaguses and ossuaries and things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Ossuary.
Okay, so Scandalon, you cast light on your dagger and raise it up. With a little bit more visibility, you can see very, very faint marks of footsteps that look like they came from behind these massive double bronze doors.
Okay.
Mildred, looking at the plaques and like memorials that are nearest to you, you don't see any names you explicitly recognize, but they are all members of the Hayes family. You pick a name. I mean, Madeline Hayes and like, etc. So that would lend more. You don't think you've necessarily left the Hayes family crypt. If anything, you've just gone down into an extension of it.
You said I felt some presence of undead. Where do I sense it coming from? In front, behind, left, right?
It is off to your right, and it's faint right now. Like it's right at the sort of the edge of your sensory range.
Okay.
And actually, with the light, so it's down one of these rows. There's I'd say like 3 aisles almost going down on either side. It feels like it's down the middle aisle on the right. And if you, with the light that you have currently, you could probably go look and you feel like you'd be able to see it as long as there's not anything blocking your way.
Holding the dagger in one hand and the other hand on the hilt of my greatsword, I'm going to start walking that direction.
Okay.
Towards the doors?
Towards where I sense the undead.
Okay. You come around the corner of this aisle, and you can see about 30 feet away, there is a figure. It doesn't look like a ghost or anything incorporeal, right? It is kind of hunched over a little bit. It's got some kind of cloak or robe of some sort kind of draped over it, but it's not big enough to fully cover this thing's body. So you can see that it has, you can see parts of its legs and parts of its arms. Its arms are kind of elongated and distended, so they go down past this thing's knees. And the feet are a little bit larger and longer than you would expect, even from like a zombie or something like that. And this thing that's like sort of hunched over, it's facing away from you right now, so you can't quite see its face.
So, I am like not directly behind Scandalon. I'm kind of like going around, still with pretty close in terms of. If Scandalon was 10 feet away from it, I would be like 15 feet just in 15 feet radius, like just in a different area. Okay, so waiting for him to, Scandalon to do something.
I slowly unsheath my sword. Put the dagger in my belt, no, not sheathed, but inside my belt in a way so I still have some light from it.
Okay.
Coming at the waist, and I'm gonna slowly approach this creature.
Okay.
Once I notice that the boys are all headed in a direction, I'm gonna abandon my search of the ossuaries and follow them.
Cool. Are you approaching it with the intent to go ahead and attack it, or are you gonna...
more of a defensive state as I try to figure out exactly what this
What it is.
foul creature is.
Okay. So as you approach, it starts out sort of not rocking back and forth, but moving a little bit, like just sort of swaying from side to side. And then as you start to get a little bit closer, you see it freeze. It stops swaying. Like it knows you're there, can sense you're there, hears your footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
You keep approaching.
How far away am I from it at this point?
At this point, I would say about 15 feet.
Okay. I close to within melee range.
Okay. You close to within melee range, and this thing turns its head around to look at you. And you get your first true glimpse of its face.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whatever this is, it is not your average undead. It's got no eyes, just empty sockets, but it does have flesh. And its mouth and jaw are horribly distended. Far below... It has a roughly humanoid shape, but there's just so many things wrong about it, right? The proportions are all out of whack. And it turns this head toward you with these unseeing eyes. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh no.
+5. 12.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait a minute. Do I get... Let's see. Do any of my auras kick in on this? Let me double check.
Come on. That's a lot, Danielle. That's
No, I just have to pour them out so I can get to what I need.
That was an intimidation roll.
That's plenty intimidating enough.
That was a DM's intimidation roll.
Actually, because of aura protection, that would be a 15.
A 15. Okay,
Yeah.
much better. Because a 15 actually clears the check. So,
Okay.
as this thing turns its head towards you, you have a moment where this is unusual for you, but you can sort of like feel your heart skip a beat. Like, this thing is just so horrific. And you're fine. Nothing happens. You kind of steel yourself mentally. I am, however, going to ask everyone to roll initiative at this point.
Yeah. I was about to say I was going to go ahead and strike.
Yeah, I figured you were. And yeah, we'll start with the initiative roll.
I think this is my first combat with you guys.
Yes, it is the first combat of this season. And I picked some of my favorite creatures.
I think I know what this is.
Did you say some and creatures within
I did.
us?
Yeah, I definitely heard the plural there.
We're hacked, you guys. We are completely hacked.
You're not.
We're
Maybe
hacked.
hexed.
You're
We're
not.
hacked.
I promise.
I rolled a massive 2 on the die, so that's a 4 for initiative.
18.
Ooh, 18 for Scanlon. Mildred.
15.
Oh, couldn't hear you. Okay.
What was it, 16?
16.
16. Okay, and I will roll for the creatures.
Please tell me it's just 2 kobolds in a coat.
Mm-hmm.
That's better
The
than-
old 3 kobolds in a trench coat
better
trick.
than I
Eh?
expected.
Works
Okay.
every time.
So for context, at this point, Scandalon is right next to this creature. And I believe, Red, you said you were going to be hanging like about 5 feet back from where Scandalon is.
Yeah, but I was like kind of going around like if this is where the creature is and this is where Scandalon is, I would be like 5 feet further, but just kind of
on the other side,
flanking. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna say you're not within 5 feet of it. You're within 10 feet of it, but you're on a different side. And then Mildred, where are you as they go down the?
I took a couple extra seconds to figure out that they were moving on, so I think I'm probably about 5 feet more back from Red.
Okay.
5 to 10.
I'll say So I'll say you're 10 feet back. Well, Red's 10 feet, so you're about 15 feet back.
Okay.
Just making sure I know where everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, it is gonna be Scandalon's turn first, which works out great. Since you were raising your sword.
I already have Malachi in hand, and I'm gonna go ahead and swing away. Let's see, that will be 22 to hit.
Yes. Very much.
4, 5, 6, 10 points of damage, plus I want to go ahead and do first level Divine Smite.
Awesome. And your sword is magical, right?
Yes, it is.
+1. Yeah. So okay, cool. Yeah, go
so
ahead.
let me roll an additional, is it 1d8 or 2? Let me double check.
How much damage?
Okay, 10 points plus I got 2 d8s coming. So that's going to be an additional 7 points of radiant damage.
So 17 total.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So you slash.
And that's the first swing.
Yes, I was just gonna say you have a second attack. So that
Yeah,
you slash
let's go
at it,
ahead
you
and
catch it once, and it kind of reels back a little bit as you hit it.
All right. This will be a 26, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's gonna hit.
For another 10 points of damage.
Awesome. Do you want to move at all, or are you good where you are?
I will stay where I am. I think I want to check something real quick.
Okay.
Nope, that's an action, not a bonus action. Okay. Yeah, I think. Okay. Now, how long does that last? 1 minute? I'm going to, with the bonus, I should have already done this, but no, I'll hang on to it just in case. I'll save it for next time around.
Okay. So next up is going to be Mildred. Mildred, the first thing I need you to do for me is make a Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that could have been better. What's my con? Ooh, 13.
How close are you to me?
If Red is 5 feet back from you,
15 feet, more or less.
I'm 15 feet back from you.
Okay, but I'm checking to see what. Okay, aura protection is if you're within 10 feet, you get a +3 bonus to your savings throw. But I don't think you're going to be close enough.
I will be, but first I had to make that, and I don't think I did. I rolled a 13.
Yeah.
You did actually make it.
Oh, yay, go me.
Mm-hmm. So you're okay. So you catch sort of a glimpse of this thing's face, but it's just in passing, and you center yourself instead of yourself, and you're okay. So what do you want to do?
I want to weave Drunken Masterly, Drunken closer.
Okay.
Stumbling and tripping and, basically, excuse me, to the invisible crowds of people. that I'm knocking past. And as I do this, I'm going to reach in and get my darts and throw 2 while I'm on my way to the creature.
Okay. Also,
So
I literally just remembered, but y'all are invisible from Red's spell.
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore. You're not. But I forgot. That means you have advantage. So your first attack will have advantage.
Nice. Let's see. Actually, do darts go twice in an attack or once?
Whether or not you can throw 2 is dependent on whether or not you have extra attack.
I do, so I'm going to take him.
Cool.
Or attacks per action too. So I 2 darts, and they're at advantage. So that is
the first one is at advantage. The second one is not.
The first one is a 19 or a 19.
Well, that hits either way. So
I'm glad to know it. 1d4 plus 4 twice. That's 7 for the first and 5 for the second points of damage.
Okay.
Writing that down. And I want to clarify, if I spend a key point to do Flurry of Blows, can I spend another one in the same round to do Patient Defense?
So I think both Patient Defense and Flurry of Blows consume your bonus action. So it's not that you can't spend a key point, it's just that you can only have one bonus action.
Okay. Still, I do have a bonus action in which I can do an unarmed strike. So I'm hoping that I've by now. Well, I can do this. I have movement, so I'm gonna slide in the rest of my distance towards the baddie, and see if I can do an uppercut to get it in the jaw or maybe the throat.
Okay.
Because it's freaking me out with that uncanny valley thing. And that is 16 plus 9 is 25 to hit.
Yeah, it's gonna hit. Not a lot of things that wouldn't hit.
I feel good about that. 3 plus 5 is 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I will spend a key point to go into Patient Defense.
So you can't. Patient Defense is a bonus action. So you used your bonus action to attack.
You're right, I did. Well, I'm still gonna go into a defensive posture, but it won't help me.
Yeah. Okay. It is the creature's turn. Okay. So it will. It lets out this kind of raspy growl, and all of you can sort of feel this almost like a disturbance in the air as things just become very uncomfortable in this room. And let me see here what I want to do. It is going to reach out. It makes this really awkward looking fist out of its long hand and tries to hit you, Scandalon.
Okay.
What is your armor class?
17.
Nice. Although that is a 23, so
That might hit.
That might hit. It is gonna go ahead and it punches you, and you take it thinking that this is gonna be totally okay, and then it rattles you for a little bit more than you expect. So that is gonna be 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
With an extra 10 necrotic damage.
Okay, I am resistant to necrotic damage.
So you only take 5 of the necrotic damage then, for 9 total.
Okay.
And as it lets out this like raspy hissing noise, you hear kind of distantly another hiss, and then another one. So your lights, you have 60 feet of dark vision and a light spell. You can see another one of these creatures walking towards you. It's not moving particularly fast, but it is, sort of zombie stumbling its way towards you from the other end. So, you kind of had that center space where you came in, and then the ossuary is on one side, and on the other side, you're over here. This one is coming at you from this side. And then you can hear another one somewhere a little bit deeper on the side that you're in right now, but you can't see it. So either it's too far away for your vision to see, or maybe it's in one of the other rows. You just wouldn't be able to visually get a beat on it. And that is it for them. And so that means it is Red's turn. And Red, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
And you get the +3 if you're within 10 feet of me.
I believe I am.
Saving throw.
You are.
Yeah. Woo. That's a 26.
You're fine.
Get a little tickle in my throat.
Yeah. It's like a little bit unpleasant for a second, and then you're like, no. I've seen worse things in my book.
Every time I contact other plane. So Red, so there's one next to Scandalon. How does it look?
It's looking pretty battered. Scandalon hit it pretty good with his sword, and I'm pretty sure Mildred didn't miss with any of her attacks either, so it's taken like 5 hits, and it's still on its feet, but it's pretty beat up. It's taken, it's got like large slash marks in it, and there's 2 darts sticking out of its side.
And I don't see one next to Mildred. Right. That's
Mildred closed on it, so Mildred and Scandalon are both standing next to the same one. Now you can see sort of behind you, kind of another one that's coming at you. It is still, we'll say 30 feet away from you in that direction.
okay. I'm going to Eldritch Blast with one going at the one next to Scandalon and one going towards, if I can, the one that's like 30 feet away.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the range.
Yep.
It's a nat 20 on the first one. Hello.
Woo! Hello.
That's gonna be. Oh yeah, I didn't take the add your charisma invocation, so it's just 12 damage on the first one next to Scandalon. And then this one is probably, I rolled a 7, but it's plus 10, so
17's a hit.
Okay. And that's 4 damage. This is, it's force damage. There we go.
Okay, cool.
And bonus action, I'm going to use the spell Far Step.
Okay.
Which allows me to teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space I can see on each of my turns before the spell ends. Use my bonus action to teleport in this way again.
Awesome.
So, I think I can do it now.
I don't see why not, unless there's something on there that says it doesn't.
Yeah, it says you teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space on each of your turns. Yeah, okay.
You can do it now.
I'm going to... So I see the one 30 feet away. I just remembered that Scandalon has that aura.
He does.
Sure. Let's... I don't want it to... I'm just going to go... I'm going to teleport 60 feet, kind of... I guess on the other side of the one, so I'll be 30 feet away from it.
Okay.
And then 60 feet away from them.
Yep.
And that's my turn.
Cool. So now you've sort of got it. That one is kind of between you and then the rest of your party with the other one.
Yep.
Awesome. And so you do this. You go over there, and that unpleasant feeling that started like after Scandalon attacked this thing is still in evidence over here as well, and you take 5 necrotic damage.
Okay. So it's not like a save or anything?
It's not a save.
Okay.
It's just straight up flat 5 necrotic damage.
Sounds good.
And we're back around to Scandalon.
Hold up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. When you were passing out necrotic damage earlier, did I get any? 'Cause
No.
there was a weird sound. Okay. Thank you.
It's the turn order is impacting things, but I'll get to that.
Thank you.
I'll get to
All
your
right.
necrotic damage in a bit.
I don't want to be left out when there's damage being done.
All right. This beast is still in front of me, right?
It is. The one in
This
front of you is still alive, quote unquote.
Okay.
But it is on its last legs, basically.
All right. I'm going to take a swing at it. Great weapons master.
All right.
Because I forgot to do that last time. Let's see. 18 plus 3 is 21.
Yes.
All right. For 7, 11 of bludgeoning damage plus 10 of radiant damage.
Nice. Okay. Before I handle
believe
that,
I believe that's radiant damage. Let me double check here. No, just regular bludgeoning damage. I'm incorrect on that.
before that, I do need one more Constitution saving throw from you.
Sure. All right, that's only going to be a 9.
Okay. So, you are gonna take
No, let's see. No, actually 11.
11. Okay.
No,
11 is
that's
still
going
a
to make a
failure.
difference, but okay.
You're out of the danger zone, so this is not as bad as it could be.
Right.
But you do take 21 psychic damage as this thing
21 psychic?
psychic
Okay,
damage
okay.
as this thing turns its gaze on you, and that doesn't stop you from hitting it with your sword and killing it almost right away. But there is that moment there where you just catch this thing in its cold, empty pits of eyes, just like see right down into your soul, and it's distinctly uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
21
How
points of damage.
Okay, I've still got a swing left in me. How far away is the nearest one?
The other one is, I'll say you can get to it. I'm gonna call it 30 feet because I told Red that it was 30 feet from him, but he was sort of on an angle, a little bit away from you, so you can reach the other one if you want to.
All right, I'm going to go to it and do my second attack on it.
Cool.
Actually, since I got it reversed him to 0, I get a melee weapon attack as a bonus action, so I can do 2 on this one.
Awesome.
So here's the first one. Great weapon master again. 20, dirty 20.
Nice. Yeah.
For 20 points of bludgeon, or whatever it is for a great sword.
Nice.
For, let's see. Yeah, so, yeah, let's see. Great sword is slashing damage, I'm sorry. All right, now I'm going to do the second. I'll do the bonus attack I get for wiping out the other one. Great weapon master again. Let's see, that'll be 16.
16 hits.
for 19 slashing.
Very nice. Okay. And that's it for you, correct?
Yeah, that'll be it for me at this time.
Okay. So you two will take 5 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, reduced to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And yes, now it's your turn, Mildred.
Yay! Damage for me.
So the one that was next to you is dead. The other one that you can see that's in here is 30 feet away, so you can get to it.
Okay. And I've sort of been picturing just a wide open space, but that's not true. There's furniture or some kind of pillar or...
Picture like an aisle in Target. That's the kind of space you're working with here.
And there's not a straight line between me and the bad guy. There's parts of an aisle and there's Scandalon.
Scandalon is your primary obstruction, yeah.
You really cut the tension in the encounter for me because I have bad memories of working at Target, so that immediately became the...
I had bad memories of shopping at Target, and that just ramped up the tension.
The eldritch horror of Target.
Try going there in December as a Jew. So I'm going to... I don't want to run through or over Scandalon because he and I have not discussed that. So I'm going to run and parkour my little blue butt up the side of one of the aisles. Maybe I'll brace on Scandalon's shoulder on the way down. And then head to the thing, fists and feet flying for a pop.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've seen you do that before teaming with others, so it won't catch me by surprise at all.
Excellent. Yeah, it's basically just a touch. I'm trying to do, a round off, but just a touch to let you know I'm there, and please don't swing at me as I fly over your head.
Nope,
and you've got plenty of, the aisles, quote unquote, have little niches in them. So there are plenty of spaces for you to kind of get a handhold and help boost yourself up and everything. So no problem.
Excellent. Anyway, it looks awesome and matrixy. And that is a 16 plus. I'm using my Tavern Brawler Strike, so that's a +9, so that's a 25 to hit.
Okay.
On the first hit. And I'll roll the second as well at the same time. That's a natural 20 to hit.
Nice.
Ew.
Yes.
I do need your Constitution saving throw as well.
Constitution saving throw.
Or
18. 18 plus math.
Okay, you're fine. Yeah, no
21.
worries.
21.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me some damage.
So that is
some sweet
1d6
damage.
plus 5 for each of those. Total of 10 for the first shot.
Okay.
And is that a crit? Do I double the dice for the...
You double the dice on a crit, yeah.
Okay. It's a real pity because that's a total of 2 for the dice plus my 5, plus my 5, so that's 7 for the crit.
That always happens. Crit and then get...
Mildred, how do you want to kill it?
Huh?
How do you want to kill it?
By coming down with a knee on its shoulder, its clavicle, and then an elbow to the side of the temple from behind.
Nice.
Or from the side. And a sickening crack would just be so satisfying right now.
Yeah, so you can
done.
hear this thing's neck snap basically, and it just crumples to the ground. Let me see here. So at this point, you see. So you guys are all in this one aisle, right? And then, like I said, there's the central space, which is where you came out on the staircase. So you can sort of see catty corner into some of the other aisles, and so you see emerging from one of these aisles, catty corner, is the third one, just sort of walking toward you. So it is within 30 feet at this point. So because 15, I've done the math. I have a little drawing over here. But so it's about 30 feet away, but it's still a little ways down that aisle. Mildred, it is technically still your turn. You have a bonus action still if you want to do it.
But I'm 30 feet from it?
You're 30 feet from it, but so you could do like patient defense or something like that if you wanted to.
You know what? Yes, I would like to patient defense. Because that
Or-
sounds like a good idea.
Impatient defense if you're feeling saucy.
You know, maybe.
Cool.
No, you know what? As a bonus action, I can. The next person in our roundup is Red. It's his turn next.
Well, the creature.
The next person on
warlords.
our side.
But yes, the next person on your side is Red.
Then I will inspire him.
Ooh.
Come on, Red, you can do it. Put a little power to it. Eldritch Blast it. Eldritch Blast it.
Inspired.
Inspiration.
D6 or 8 or what?
Good question. D6.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, and then Mildred, you will take 5 points of necrotic damage.
Cool.
You just see like a vein on the back of your hand turning black.
Just makes me meaner.
And let's see here. So the Bodak has essentially used its movement already to get as close as it has. It can't reach you this turn. But let's see. Who is the easiest for it to see? Probably Mildred. Mildred or Scandalon. We'll go with Mildred. Mildred,
Yes.
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, this is about to be exciting. And I'm not 10 feet from Scandalon. I'm further.
No, you're right with Scandalon.
Oh, in that case, 13.
13. Okay. I need another. Where is it?
Fortunately, that's searching and not rolling.
I need another one.
We can hope. How many things are headed towards me right now?
The DM intimidation roll.
Mm-hmm.
It always works, too. Every time.
Okay.
Why does it always work?
You take 11 points of necrotic damage as you kind of feel all the hairs on the back of your neck stand up as this thing is looking at you from behind, and you can just sort of feel you're like, ugh.
I feel my gnomish mortality.
Yeah, you feel that mortality, but you're able to shake most of it off, but it leaves you feeling like really tired, and so yeah, 11 points of necrotic damage from that, and Red.
So these rows are rows of like parchment, or are they just architectural rows?
Yeah, so these are made of like stone, and then there's not parchment inside them. It's just like little niches that have bones in them. Basically.
Oh, okay.
Now, what I will say is they do have a top that is not flush with the ceiling. So if you wanted to try to get up there, that's a thing you could definitely do.
How close am I to this other Bodek?
You are... So you were 30 feet from the one that they just killed, so you're about 60.
Okay. I guess I could get right. I can get within range using my bonus action, but yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to use Far Step bonus action to get within 15 feet.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my racial ability, Reach to the Blaze, and cast Burning Hands. I can cast that without... It's a once a long rest thing.
Cool.
So that's a dex save.
All right.
And like, obviously would shape it so it wouldn't hit anyone. that I care about.
Yeah, well, no one's over there yet, so if you're
Okay.
just hitting the Vodak, you're fine. Okay, so it got a 15 on that saving throw, which I bet is a failure.
Dex 16 it needed.
So it fails.
Cool. Ten fire damage.
Okay. So you...
And then... Go ahead.
I was going to say, you release this little arc of flames from your hands. You see... it's almost like the Bodak's skin has been soaked in water.
Ooh, bummer.
And it takes... You can see like small scorch marks on it from this. But they are not as deep as you would have hoped, or as bad.
So like steam maybe rises from parts of it. It still looks cool.
It does still look cool. That's true.
He will retreat towards Scandalon.
Okay.
And that will be his turn.
Okay. So are you moving your full movement speed back?
Well, how far is Scandalon away?
So Scandalon and
From me?
Mildred are both about 30 feet away from it.
Yeah, I'll go full movement towards Scandalon.
So past them and a few more feet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. No support.
Yep, not a problem.
Scandalon, we're back around to you.
All right, so we got one left of these vile creatures and all that. How far is this one from me?
This one's 30 feet from you.
All right, I will advance towards it, and it's time to go swinging.
Yep.
Great Weapons Master.
Okay.
That will be a dirty 20
Nice. That's a hit.
for 20 points of slash.
Okay. Wow.
And I will add so much fun doing that one. Let's do it again. See if we can cut this thing off at the pass. 21 to hit for 19.
All right. You have hit it very badly. It is still alive. Oh, that reminds me. Constitution saving throw, if you would.
Yep. I will get that for you right now. 19.
Perfect. You're fine. Okay, so you run in. You slash your sword twice. Hitting this thing. Is there anything else you'd like to do? You have a bonus action or anything?
Let's see. Let me check something here. Nope, that's an action. Let's see. No, I think I'm fine for now.
Okay. In that case, you will take 5 more necrotic damage, which is just 2 for you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Mildred.
This thing is badly hurt and on its last legs, or?
It's badly hurt. It's not quite on its last legs.
I wonder if it's time to pull out the big guns. Nah, I'm just gonna
Save 'em.
I'm gonna rush it and see if I can. Yeah, I'll run in between Scandalon and the ossuary aisle, and just come in swinging a haymaker.
Okay.
I should have gone for something with more finesse. That's not good. So the first one is a big whiff. But I'm angry, so I'm going to use my momentum to spin around and do a backward kick. And that is plus 9, 12? No.
At 12 is a miss, I'm afraid, yeah.
Just out of curiosity, the previous one was a 4. Would a 13 have hit? I'm doubting it, but yeah, okay.
But it's worth telling you just in case, because especially with undead, they tend to have lower ACs.
So And I can only do unarmed strike as a bonus action if I hit, correct?
No, you can use your bonus action to do an unarmed strike if you want. You don't have to hit for that. And if you want, you can spend a key point to do flurry of blows and get 2 more attacks.
You know what? Nah. That's better. 19.
19's a hit. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. D6 3 plus 5 is 8 damage.
Okay.
And now I will spend a key point to go into patient defense. And I also probably should roll Constitution.
You still can't do that because you used your bonus action to do the
Oh,
attack.
blast. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. Poop.
That's okay.
I'm trying to spend key points.
I know. It's all right.
I'm trying to deplete myself because I've never done it. I've always played a caution freak.
No worries. And I've
trying not
had a couple of monks in my game, so I'm actually reasonably familiar with the way monks work.
I should be. We took all that time off, and I lost my entire monk brain.
That's okay. Not a problem. And you will also take 5 points of necrotic damage
Okay.
as you get close to this thing.
5 damage.
I
don't have any more movement, do I? Well, my movement is 40 feet. I'll back up 10 feet.
If you back up, you give it the opportunity to make an attack of opportunity. It's up to you.
But then I take away its ability to attack somebody else. So I'll do it.
Okay. So it will take a swing at you as you try to back away.
Mm-hmm.
What's your armor class?
14.
Okay, so it will hit you. So that will be 6 bludgeoning damage and 7 necrotic damage. So just sort of like backhands you as you step away from it.
That's fair.
And then on its turn, it is going to fixate its gaze on Scandalon, who is closest to it, and also just whacked it with the big sword. So Scandalon, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. 24.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a success. So you'll take half. Let's see here. 24. Okay, so it's 12 necrotic damage, which you will then have again because you have your resistance. So you will only take 6.
Okay.
And Fred, your turn.
I'm going to... So I'm 30 feet away?
You are more than 30 feet away.
Okay.
You are 45 feet away.
Do you do the optional rule of flanking?
I usually don't.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to Eldritch Blast it.
Nice.
Blast this thing.
14.
14's a miss, but you have another.
Yep. A 2 and a 4, so both miss. Pew pew.
Pew pew! And they both go wide. They like careen into one of the ossuaries and bones fall on the floor.
Yeah.
But it
One
sure
of the
looks
skulls
pretty
in there
flying
that
by.
just spins.
Yeah.
It sure looks pretty when it's flying by us, though.
Sure does. The skull, when it stops spinning, its jaw just kind of goes and falls.
Classic. Very classic.
And that's my turn.
All right, well then we are back to Scandalon.
All right, let's see if we can finish this thing off. Great Weapons Master. So, dirty 20 for 18 of slashing.
Yeah, how do you want to destroy it?
All right. I see it when it made its hit attempt against Mildred, said no more of this, and just pick it up, and I get it. I aim my shot so it goes right through the midsection with every ounce of strength that I've got.
Very nice.
Putting all my leg and arm into it, kind of like swinging a cricket bat, only flat instead of up, and just swinging through like a hot knife through butter.
Yep, just goes straight through it. You cut this thing in half, and it falls to the ground. It twitches a little bit, and then goes still. And your Detect Good and Evil is still running, I would say, at this point, because it hasn't quite been 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And so you are able to sense that there are no more undead, like,
in here.
Directly, like, near you. But there is definitely something undead behind that bronze door.
Okay.
Can I search the Bodax for things?
Sure.
I would like to assist to give him advantage.
Give me an investigation check.
Using inspiration.
Sure.
I didn't need to because I forgot my investigation is super good, but I used it anyways. I rolled a 14 plus 8 plus 3. 25.
Yeah. You'll find everything there is to find on the Bodax.
You found stuff that they didn't know they were carrying.
I found a family album, gang.
Yes, you find a couple of things. The first thing you find is that these, like, you look at these rotted, creepy robes that they have on, and you realize that that there's actually, it's hard to see, but there is an actual crest on the robe.
Ooh.
And it matches the crest on the door. The second thing you find is a little bit odder. You, as you're picking, looking through them, trying to see if they have anything of value, which they don't really seem to, you notice that on the back of their necks, so right here, there is a little piece of a stone that looks like it's embedded in them.
I think he knows better, so I do love playing stupid characters, though, or unintelligent characters, but I think Red is a little too experienced, so he's going to... What?
I'm not.
Well, I mean, he's going to take out a, not an actual attacking knife, but a, what is it?
Like a pocket knife, almost.
Yeah, and just try to pry it out.
Sure.
Like a penknife kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, he's... No?
What?
No, I was just thinking, what were you saying?
While he's doing that, I'd like to take one of the crests off one of the robes and
Good call.
just hang out with it.
Yeah, you can just slice it off. It's no problem. Make me a strength check. If you have athletics, you can use it.
I don't, and this is my worst stat.
Because this is it's wedged in there.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. It's a -1 on a 13, so a 12.
Okay, that's still enough.
Okay.
So you sort of scoop it out using the knife. You kind of have to stick the knife blade in there and then kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit and then snap it out. And you're left with a little piece of black stone. It's about yay big.
I'm using my clothes to handle it.
Sure.
I'm not trying to make skin contact with it.
That's probably a smart idea. And it's you have detect magic up constantly, or is it?
My far step will drop if I cast detect magic.
Okay,
but
I just wasn't sure if you had the invocation that lets you pretty much run detect magic constantly.
I do have that, but it's concentration. So once the far step goes down, which is a minute, which is probably coming up.
Yeah, your first step would be down.
Okay, so I would cast Detect Magic.
Okay. So yes, you can see this thing is shining pretty brightly with magic of two kinds. One, which really is not going to surprise you, is necromancy. But the other one, which again will probably not terribly surprise you, is enchantment.
So I tell everyone this gem is in the back of this one's neck, and it's got necrotic and enchantment magic imbued in it.
So what type of thing it does?
Maybe can I make an? I know what
I can find out, but if you already know, or if you
I can. Jake has a guess, but Red is proficient in Arcana. Can he make like his best guess?
Yeah, you can try to formulate a best guess.
I will assist him since I'm also proficient in Arcana.
Okay, so you can put your head together and like look it over.
I rolled an 18 plus 8 is
Nice.
26.
You've not seen anything quite like this before, but you know, putting your head together with Scandalon. So these are undead. You would guess that this is almost like a control gem.
That's what I was gonna guess. Yeah.
Kind of like, so you like Slod have control gems that allow someone to kind of force them to do what they want. You think this is probably something similar, but for an undead, and so that it was just sort of fused to them as a means of controlling them. Now, what the implications of that are, you know, you can extrapolate, but you're fairly certain that that's the purpose of this gem.
If they're going to talk about that out loud,
Yes. I
get
would.
the others. Get the
Yeah,
others.
that's what I was going to do. I was going to go to the other bodies and take them out as well.
Okay.
And then when they've got them all, just to make sure that they're right, I'll cast Identify on one of them.
That will require you to touch it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, just making sure.
This will be very
All right.
exciting.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one and take it out. Similar fashion.
Mildred,
Oh dear. Here it comes.
make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, good. I'm terrible at this.
I'm still near you. Uh-oh.
3. Well, I did say I wanted adventure today.
You did, and you touched the thing. Okay, so you reach out to touch it to cast your Identify spell, and you put a finger on this, and your whole body locks up as you fall under the control of something or someone
Awesome.
else. And you can hear a little voice in the back of your head that is saying, protect the tomb, protect the tomb, protect the tomb. And you feel this compulsion, basically to get up and defend this tomb against any kind of intruder, which would put you in direct conflict with your friends, unfortunately. But before you can do anything,
But I do get Identify, right?
hang on. Before you can do anything, the voice you heard in your head was like quiet, right? You hear a louder version of your voice, of that voice say, That's not right. And you can feel something rummaging around in your mind.
Ooh.
And then you hear that voice say, "You will regret this."
Oh.
And
To
then
me?
you feel whatever hold was on you release. So that you're not hearing the compulsion anymore or anything like that. The gem shatters.
Ow.
We heard that voice or no?
You did not. It was all in
Okay.
Mildred's head.
Okay.
And actually, I think we'll stop here for our break.
Okay.
And we will come back in 10 minutes, so slightly past 9:30. We will see you all then while our lovely folks try to figure out what's going on. Back in a few. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons and Deductibles, where our intrepid adjusters have just defeated 3 undead. They pulled this control gem-like item off of the back of these undead's necks, and Mildred touched it and got a little bit of unpleasant mental backlash, including someone telling her that she will regret this, and then the gem exploding, just shattering. And that is where we will pick up.
Okay, have we taken the other 2 out yet?
Are you
The
okay?
other 2 gems out?
No, the thing just broke. And also, don't touch them.
Yeah.
So you were right about what they are. Someone told me to protect the tomb.
Are you feeling like you need to protect the tomb?
I did for a little bit, and then somebody else said it wasn't right and that I would regret it. Or
Same
maybe
voice.
said to the... Huh?
It was the same voice. It was not somebody else, at least as far as you can tell.
Somebody else said it wasn't right. You said... Wasn't it a different voice?
No, it was the same voice.
It was just louder.
Yeah, it was just a louder version.
Oh. And then it let go of me. Like, maybe don't touch them with your actual self.
Yeah, and he's got, like, the gem he pulled out. He's ripped off a piece of cloth from the bow deck and has multiple layers on it now.
For sure take them out of the bodies, but maybe we could destroy them. Do either of you know how to destroy magic things?
I can, but I really think I should save I can only petition my patron so many times. It's a whole deal, and once I go past a certain amount, I have to put in a bunch of paperwork, and it takes forever.
So we should wait on it?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if we're out of danger yet. And so
I do sense more undead beyond those 2 bronze doors. I don't know what they are, or they are, but there is something. There is more of something down there.
Do you sense more than one, or just one?
What do I sense?
Right now you just sense 1. If you wanted to go stand near the bronze doors, you'd be able to get a better read on it because your range would.
I'll go ahead and stand as close as I can to the bronze doors.
Okay. You still only sense 1 undead in that room.
I'm only sensing 1.
I go up to the door with him with my detect magic up. Is the door glowing or no?
The door is glowing, actually. With a little bit of, I believe it's abjuration, but let me just double check real quick.
I think traps are usually abjuration or evocation.
Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
So this is abjuration. Yeah.
So don't touch the door. I think I'm using my Eldritch Sight to see that it has some abjuration magic on it. Or we can come back reloaded with more people, or we can just take care of this now.
Well, I'm curious about something. Can you turn your light back on, Scandalon?
I pull the dagger out and hold it up high so it covers as much area as possible in the room.
Sure.
I'm going to get down low and see if I can see, like, the way that the dust shimmers or doesn't shimmer in the light. Make sure that there are or aren't. How many sets of footprints leading out from those doors, and are any leading back in?
Okay, great question. So yeah, you get down on your knees in the light that Scandalon's casting and take a look at these footprints. There's only one set of footprints coming out of the doors, and there are not any footprints going in that you can see.
And I don't remember, me, the player, I don't remember if while we were at the wake, if Scandalon mentioned out loud that there were undead or fiends or whatever at the wake.
I don't believe I did, no.
Okay. I will say out loud. So, footprints leading out of here, probably the source of all the ones that we've seen so far. But I haven't seen any leading back, have you? Because I don't see any now.
However,
So whatever left there isn't there now.
Not knowing all that could be going on when we were up at the house, I did a check for good and evil, and I detected a couple of fiends and a fae in the reception room where everyone was paying their respects to the widow. So it could be possible that they conjured something up here, and then it was something that they could either dismiss or they set somewhere else.
Or maybe whatever was in there and left just is still out there.
That is possible.
What size are these footprints? Like, are we talking about size 13 clodhoppers or just...
No.
9?
Like size 9 men's.
Okay. Hey, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Next time we're up there, if the wake is still going on, and it should be, right? They last a while. We check all the shoes against this size. I'm guessing that I have some
idea.
paper or parchment and a pencil on me.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a general size and shape of that footprint.
Are we gonna just grab people's shoes?
They're all at the door. Most people were barefoot inside, out of respect.
He's not
It's
wrong.
still-
Everyone took their shoes off. Ronan, hey. Ronan,
I
come
thought somebody's stomach was growling.
here. No, that's
He
somebody.
senses good and evil too.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Good baby.
So, but like grabbing shoes is going to look a little odd. Do you agree? Or
Depends if anyone is paying attention. I
Know
don't
how
believe
much
that where the
bothers me.
shoes were. I don't believe where the shoes was in visual. You could see that area from the reception
I see.
area.
Because I was thinking
If I
it was
remember
like, my experience was when you'd go over to a friend's house whose parents asked you to take off your shoes, and you'd have a bunch of friends there, you'd just a pile of shoes would be in the entryway, and I was thinking it's like that.
It's like that, but a little bit more organized. So everyone, like, they have like a shoe rack there, more or less, so that everyone has been able to place their shoes on a little bit more neatly. This is a halfling home, and it's courteous to take your shoes off.
Okay.
So they have a rack there for visitors. And to Scandalon's point, yes, that was in the foyer. So not a direct line of sight between that and the room where the sort of reception was going on.
I'll follow your lead.
How badly hurt are the rest of you?
I felt better, to be honest.
I think I felt like a blood vessel pop in my arm, but I think other than that, I'm good.
Do we need to rest and recover before going trying to go past these doors?
If I take an hour rest and think about the deep darkness beyond in the far realm, I can recover some ability to use magic.
So here's my thinking. Either we can handle this right now, or we can decide, sometimes undead are just trying to exist like everybody else and leave it alone and assume that it's something else, because whatever is in there isn't what was out there.
And it could be that maybe the family has set up these undead guardians to protect anything that, whether it's the bodies or other valuables that were buried with them. Much as I detest the undead, that would be the type of creature you would consider using for such a thing.
I mean, if it's got a job, it's doing the job. It's probably not wandering about. You have to look at the wanderer, not the one who's still there. Maybe we don't have to care about this one at all.
It's possible. But it would be
So
nice
I think
to
we
know.
could go back and look at the shoes, see if there's any that we can eliminate for sure. I mean, these definitely don't look like they're anybody my size. They look like somebody your size.
Mm-hmm. But we have no way of knowing for sure if it was one of them that did him in or not.
No, but
Because
we can eliminate certain people.
True. But if they came from in here, we don't know where. For all we know, this could lead somewhere into the city.
Also, how do we match the shoes to people? Like, the shoes are not with the people, so we're going to be eliminating shoes, but then we're going to have to wait and see who claims the shoes.
Sure. But once we're sure whose shoes we can eliminate, we can just watch them go, and we can keep an eye on who's left.
If it is that straightforward, it may be that there's multiple shoes that are matching.
Sure, but if you've got maybe a dozen people who are the right size, then we can set those shoes discreetly in one area, and everybody else we ignore as they're leaving. We just take note of who puts on shoes of the right size, right? We can probably ignore anybody whose shoes aren't flat on the bottom. People who have a little skinny heel instead of a good sturdy. Mm-hmm. We can ignore completely flat slippers because there was the shape of a heel. It just wasn't a pronounced one. We can ignore most of the ones that are the wrong side. We can eliminate people.
And the bronze doors are just plain, and there's no engraving on them, or
there's
it's
just the crest.
The crest
that's on the that are on the
big,
robes that the creatures had.
Yeah, it takes up most of these doors.
I'm going to scamper back and get the crests off of the other two bodies and hand them to those two. Just keep that in case we need to get in there. Maybe it'll act like a sort of a pass.
Also, I could spend 11 minutes to contact other plane and ask who is behind the door.
Every episode.
Gotta do it once every episode.
I was thinking the same thing.
I freaking love this guy. I'd be all right with that. It seems to have served you well so far.
Really has, and I feel like that's my great old one, patron.
It's really your patron? I thought it was just like some rando from another.
Oh no, that wasn't end game. I was just it would be cool if my character's patron was a dog. That would be excellent. But yeah, so I'll spend the time to cast Contact Other Plane.
Okay. Do the two of you want to do anything while he's spending the 11 minutes to cast this?
I want to go back to where that first one was standing and see if I can figure out whether it was doing something there.
Okay.
Good idea. I'll go with you. Actually, I will stay by the
No, you
bronze
stay with him.
doors.
Okay.
I'll stay by the bronze doors to watch over Red, and in case something happens at the bronze doors, I can be ready
Cool.
as a human shield.
Okay. Mildred, give me an investigation check. See if you can try to put together what this creature was doing.
Investigation is a +10, so that's 27.
Okay.
I love these dice, y'all. Sometimes they roll badly, but most of the time they have not.
So this creature was standing next to a particular ossuary. And that ossuary, I will give you the name of, if you give me one.
What's an ossuary?
It's a box that just contains bones.
Yeah.
Cubbyhole.
It sounds like it could be a bird.
It does a bit. Aviary is probably because it's a similar ending.
Maybe.
Osprey.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
osprey.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that didn't open, did it? Come on. Notes. You're failing me.
Like ossify, meaning bones or
Good
or
call.
stones.
Good call.
Yeah, osseo. It's the Latin.
Is that Latin for, yeah.
For bone, yeah.
Childhood spent reading dictionaries instead of playing with other children. Yay, nerds!
I was the same, but it was encyclopedia.
God,
I
my
read
notes
those
are
too.
weird. Okay.
Yeah. Britannica Junior Edition.
No, we didn't have juniors.
The plaque here says Hubert Hayes.
Whatever happened to you,
Yeah.
Bert?
And then below it there's like one or two lines that say it's very stereotypical things like, beloved father, adored son, may he
Did
rest
no wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, may he rest in peace, and then that sort of thing. And so there's there's a little ossuary right there, and this Bodak was standing right next to it with its body sort of turned toward it. And you don't see any sign of what it was trying to do. There's nothing out of place in the ossuary.
No dust disturbed by some hand messing about.
Yeah, nothing like that. But it did seem to be like this is what it was standing next to.
Well, I'm going to mess around with those bones. You know I am.
Okay.
I got to know if it was looking for something or putting something there, or I don't know.
Just gonna go poking around in there.
Yeah, I want to know if there was anything besides bones in there, or if they were putting bones in a different order for some sort of mystical purpose that I don't understand because I'm just a gym rat.
Okay. So you poke around a little bit. So the way these are set up is sort of, so there's the little niche, right? There's the skull is typically sitting on top. And then there's a box that contains the rest of the bones, right? And when you say you're messing around, are you just checking what's in the niche? Or are you actually going to, open the box?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to open the box.
Okay.
I got to know.
All right.
We're investigators, man.
That's fine. I'm just double checking because I want to make sure I'm not assuming that you're touching something that you're not actually willing to touch.
I would like to check it for traps first. But
Sure.
I don't have
You can roll a perception check
so
to check for traps if you'd like.
not investigation.
No, I usually use perception for traps.
That's fair. 11.
Okay. You don't see anything that looks trappy.
Okay.
I mean, it's got like a tiny latch, but there's no lock or anything on it.
Sweet. Well, then I gotta open it up.
So
I gotta know what that Bodak was doing.
Not anything in the niche that looks out of place, just like the skull and the plaque and the little box. But when you open the box is empty. No bones.
Hey, Scandalon,
Yes.
that first one we killed, when you looked over its body, did it have any extra bones with it?
Did I remember seeing any?
You don't.
No.
None of them
There
have
was
anything
not.
on them.
Its hands were empty.
Interesting, because the thing that it was messing around with was also empty. And it should have had bones in it. Does the box have any sort of decoration that would make it seem unusual or special or warded in some way?
I mean, it's a nice box. Like it's fancy. Like it's got
Is there imagery on it that seems like it is unusual for what it is?
Nah. It's gonna have like an image of like Kalembor or like a more neutral god of the dead on it. And it's nicely done. I would say it's like you know what cloisonne is? Yeah, it's so it's like a cloisonne box. It's very pretty. I mean, it's inlaid with mother of pearl or similar, but nothing that makes you go, "This is weird," or like stands out as something wrong, other than the fact that it's empty. And so while you're pondering, I'm gonna bounce over to Red.
Yeah.
So Red, you are casting Contact Other Plane, our favorite spell.
with the changes to hopefully get someone or something new. He's going to use his proficiency in Arcana to make the necessary verbal changes to hopefully get a different
entity on the line.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know how like touch tone, when you're going through a menu of touch tone, and it's the tones that actually tell the system where you want to go? Yeah, so it's like that.
Okay. Okay, so two things. First thing, go ahead and roll me your intelligence saving throw to see if you're able to establish a connection.
All right, I'll make sure that I'm standing within 10 feet of him so you can get the bonus.
Okay.
If you want. Or maybe you don't want it. I don't know.
No, I mean, of course I do. I'm just deciding. I have this tiefling horns dice.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
And it's been so bad to me. And I haven't rolled it in years. So we're going to take a chance.
All right.
Maybe. Rolled an 11. Let me add 4 to it to get 15, which is what I need. Oh my goodness.
You cleared that.
Barely.
Well, you would have had Scandalon's bonus too. So.
Oh yeah.
+3.
Cool.
Yeah, so you'd have cleared just fine. All right, so what I'm gonna have you do. Roll me a D100.
Okay.
That's never good. That's never once been good.
70.
Okay. So you do your ritual, and you change a few components here and there in the hopes of trying to get a different entity on the line, and then you cast the spell. there's a moment where you feel, you establish this connection with an entity, and for the first time, it feels different. It doesn't feel like
slimy.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like slimy and gross like the last time. And you were pretty sure you've contacted something else. And then there's like a weird pull on the connection.
Oh, come.
Like something else is
Like a slimy pull?
Yeah, like something else is trying to make the line jump, almost. So there's a little bit of like a tug of war. And it seems like, for now, the new entity you have reached has won the tug of war. The connection
You're making someone jealous.
The connection you've established to this new creature or new thing remains intact. So you have reached a new entity with contact with the plane.
Hi there. I usually get the same entity when I do this, and I'm super excited. I feel like I didn't. So just to start off on a good note, I like to ask, how are you, before I start asking other questions.
I love that you always start with this. The response back is intrigued.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I can see why. This is kind of weird. Maybe it's not weird. I don't know what your day-to-day life is. So we're in this crypt in Waterdeep on the material plane, and we just fought some Bodaks. I don't know if they call them that in other places, but the big undead, big faces, big mouths, they're just not good. And there's a bronze door. I don't even know if I need to tell you this. I might just be talking too much. Anyways, I want to know if we can defeat what's behind if you think we can defeat what's behind the door with our current group composition and abilities. I should have asked you guys what I should. I'm so bad at thinking about questions.
Don't worry about it. That's half the fun.
The response is... So you're asking, can we defeat this thing in our current state?
Yeah, I guess it's like a matter of opinion to this entity.
It responds, unnecessary.
Oh, that's super helpful. So I'm trying to find... I lost a flying rug a while ago, and like I think someone took it, and it was I liked that rug, and it's gone, and this was years ago, and I just want to know that it's at least being used and not just burnt up somewhere or in the corner of some lich's living room. Just tell me it's out there if you can, please. And thank you.
The response you get to this is yes, but it is accompanied by an image. And the image you get is of, I'll let you decide who this person is, but it's someone from your past named Jeff, who you don't like. And it's accompanied, so this yes is accompanied by an image of Jeff with your rug.
So you guys see like Red is in like a meditative trance kind of, and then you see him go, "Oh, Jeff!" Just starts cursing, and Yeah, Jeff has a really thin pencil mustache and weirdly slimy, like sweats profusely, but it's like super shiny. And just like the picture I get is just of a smarmy grin. And so that's 3 questions.
Mm-hmm. You have 2 more.
And Red regains composure. Oh. And says, so should we is our best course of I'd make such a bad investigator. Is there someone let's see, the stumble toes. Is there a stumble toe in the city that knows more about what happened to their relative, Ted, than what they've told us so far?
No.
One more. So I'm trying to get promoted in this company, and I'm looking not to murder people. And I talked to someone else, gave me a very weird slimy, and it's Jeff and a slimy. If Jeff is that slimy thing, I would not be surprised. But the thing I was talking to had a very slimy disposition. I don't think those words have been put together before, but and they told me that to get promoted, I should murder. And do you have a better suggestion that can get me promoted quickly, but not, yeah. Do I get any sense like this, because Red just rambles to eventually to a question? Do I get the sense that this entity is annoyed or still intrigued, or
you don't get a sense of annoyance. There's a faint hint of amusement, actually,
okay.
at your rambliness, at least for now. And I will say that where the other one, you very much got like a slimy, kind of gross sense out of it. This one is not. This one is more. The dominating feeling you're getting off of this is sharp and hungry.
Sharp and hungry.
Yeah.
At least it's not slimy.
So not slimy, not necessarily better.
You need a different plane.
And yeah, so your question was, what can you do to get promoted other than murder?
Quickly.
The response is falsehoods.
Excellent. Okay. He doesn't say that out loud, but he does. He comes back to the world and is just like, it was productive. I actually talked to a different entity this time. I didn't get the sliminess, but I found out where my flying rug is. I didn't find out where it is. I found out who stole it, who I suspected, and it's Jeff, of course. I don't know. I knew it, and it's just ridiculous. And he just starts talking about Jeff being...
And this applies to our current situation.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's just, if you met Jeff, you would want to smite him to next Thursday, or whatever the Waterdavian Thursday is.
So let me guess, you would want me to smite him 3 ways: hard, fast, and continuously?
Sure. Yes.
I feel
Definitely.
like I've learned so much about you just now, Scandalon.
So I asked questions about the entity behind the door. If we need to deal with it, if we could take it, and we got like it's not necessary. That's the answer I got.
Really?
So maybe we just go do the shoe thing. And also, I asked if there were other stumble toes who had more information that they didn't give us, and found out that there's no stumble toe in the city that has more information that we could use. So that's good news.
Well, then, I guess we go from insurance adjusters to shoe inspectors.
It's a weird day.
But we may want to investigate beyond the store at another time. But
Sure.
for now...
Sure, definitely. Maybe after we get greater restoration or lessered.
It's worth a try. Shall we go?
Yes.
And Mildred, we'll come back over to you. So was there anything else you wanted to look at?
No, but I would like to know if I have any basis for, given all those classes I took at Waterdhavian Community College over the summer, do I have any basis for understanding or knowing anything about a ritual or procedure which could require the bones of a specific person?
I'm gonna go with no, just because necromancy.
I have some religion proficiency.
Yeah, but that's falling under necromancy, which is generally frowned upon, and is not going to be the sort of thing you encounter at Waterdhavian Community College.
I'm definitely going to have to do more research then.
Yeah, that's a much more specialized field of study, and the only people who are really likely to know things about that are like if you went to like
a temple.
A temple might. Just because they're evil aligned and necromancy is their jam, or on the good aligned side because they usually try to put a stop to things like that, so they might know more. Your other option would be some kind of more specific arcane knowledge base. So
now I do have that.
Something like Candlekeep if you wanted to go pay a visit. Representative of something like the Arcane Brotherhood might know more. Things like that.
Okay, then yeah, I'm ready. I'll come out from behind the thing and reunite with my boys, who seem to be ready to head out.
It's up to you. I'll follow you guys.
I think
We
know what
relay
we
to
can
her
know
we relay to Mildred the information that Red got from his long distance planar phone call.
She listens very intently and then says, "Well, that's really interesting. Let's put a pin in the Jeff thing, because it's possible that if you had insurance on that, you can probably reclaim it." And
I'm embarrassed to tell you I did not.
we may still be able to get it back. But for now, the job is, I think we've learned what we can from here that's relevant.
I agree.
So unless we haven't examined every corner of this room, which I bet we have.
You've not explored everything that's down here, right? There's more.
There's a lot.
Yeah, this is a pretty big chamber. You've not even come close, really. But it's up to you whether you want to spend some time doing that. And obviously, you've not gone through the door either, so you don't know what's beyond that.
I'm okay with leaving that for now.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to pick an ossuary box at random just to make sure that it has bones in it, that these aren't all like sitting empty.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can just pick one at random and open it, and there are bones.
Okay.
In the box.
Speaking of which, do we know what those things were? Because no one ever in character said the name of them, did they?
In character, no.
Yes.
So if anyone would like to make an Arcana check in character to try to identify them, nature too, but Arcana would be preferable.
Yeah, I will. I've got proficiency in Arcana.
I rolled a 2, so that's a 10.
Okay.
6, 21.
Nice.
8. So that means I know they're undead.
You know they're undead. Yeah, so, once the excitement dies down a little bit, Mildred, you are able to kind of rack your brain. God, what are these? And you do remember something from your Waterdhavian Community College days. Specifically, one of your classes that talked about different types of undead. That these were something called Bodaks. And Bodaks are related to Orcus, which is one of the demon princes, specifically the one that has to do with undeath, which, sort of tracks. A Bodak is created from sort of the soul of someone who used to serve Orcus. And they are vaguely sentient. I mean, they do retain some shreds of their former lives. Not a lot, but some. And if you knew them before they were transformed, you might actually still be able to identify them. Now, how long these Bodaks were Bodaks, they weren't anyone you recognize. So, Bodaks are known in particular for the terror that their gaze inspires, which explains and probably is how you identify them, because they were doing a lot of damage to you just from looking at you, or from you just looking at them.
Are they created from the souls and bones of their former selves, Orcus worshippers, followers?
They're created from corpses, typically. Not in the same way that a zombie is, which is, because like a zombie is just like an animated corpse. This is a corpse that it has to have like special symbols carved onto it and that sort of thing. And then the person who's creating the Bodak can use some pretty nefarious magic to just kind of flay bits of the soul away and attach it. It's pretty nasty. But it's not generally done from bones. It's done from a corpse. Typically a fresh one.
And these bones, the skull at least, that the Bodak was, because there's a skull in an empty bone box, right? The skull was pretty old looking.
Yeah, I mean, the skull was picked clean. It wasn't so old that it was like falling apart or anything like that. Now, there's a lot of, there's some kind of ambient magic here, so could be something to do with that.
If we hang out, you guys, if we hang out for an hour, would either of you be able to detect a type of magic on this skull?
I can do it at will. I have Eldritch Sight.
Come here. Look at that thing right there. The skull and the box.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's doing that, I'll mention all of this, probably just to Scandalon, because he probably needs to concentrate.
No, I don't need to concentrate. It glows.
Red, you don't see anything out of the ordinary here.
I'm not seeing anything.
Interesting.
Because what I'm wondering is if this Bodak was looking at its own remains, or looking for its own remains.
That is possible.
I mean, that would be sad and creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Then
But
we
if
did it.
If it's made from its own bones, its own body, then it wouldn't be here at all, but maybe it got confused. They're semi-sentient, I think. I'll have to go and look at my class book again, but I think they're kind of aware, maybe self-aware.
So we did it a favor. We helped it out.
Well, I hope so.
Quick, dumb and stupid question department. These 3 Bodaks that we were fighting, do they have shoes or boots on?
No. Decent question. No, they don't.
Are their shoes put into a corner when they entered, like at the entranceway?
No. You don't see any shoes down here beyond the ones that you brought with you.
Okay. We're searching this room, just
Hunting for
checking
shoes.
every inch, and then we find like a neatly stacked piles of shoes for undead Bodaks.
I know I said that we could go, but I'm thinking that if we want to give Red a short rest to regain some of his capabilities, I actually would kind of like to go around and see how many other empty bone boxes there might be in this area.
Not a bad idea at this point.
It's up to you. I will start the petitioning to regain magic if you guys give me the word.
The word is given.
The word is given. I will take a short rest.
Has anyone watched The Mandalorian yet other than me?
Yeah, I did.
I have spoken.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, you can take a short rest. You can sort of set up, and it's no problem, Mildred, if during the short rest you want to go poke around in a few more of these boxes and see if you can find anything out of the ordinary.
I want to look in as many boxes as I can over the next hour.
Sure.
I'm going to spend a hit die.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm going to spend
Oh,
some
and
as
also
well.
cast Cure Wounds on myself
Also permissible.
at 2nd level.
So yeah, go ahead and take care of all of your hit dice and such things. Okay, so a couple things. So Mildred, you spend this hour wandering through these aisles. Are you being methodical and like opening every one, or are you opening sort of at random?
As many as I can, all in order.
So yeah, you just start opening, checking, opening,
Yeah.
checking, then going down the line. Probably not too hard for you to get through a solid, like, 60 or 70 of these. If you're just, like, looking, right?
Yeah. Lift up the lid and put it back down.
Yeah.
Just all down the row.
The only one with missing bones is the one for Hubert Hayes. Every other one you open has bones. So that's that.
Huh.
Toward the end of your long rest, or short rest, sorry, I lied. Long rest would be creepy. You hear a wailing noise coming from behind the doors.
I do?
All of you do.
Oh.
It's loud.
I think we should go.
Yeah. Okay.
She's just like, yeah, we're gone.
Yep.
Upstairs.
Noping right out of here.
Okay.
I don't need anything. I didn't leave anything here.
So you head up the stairs, back the way you came.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out something very unpleasant, which is that the door has been shut.
Ooh.
I try to push it open.
It doesn't go.
The door to the outside or the door to the upstairs?
The door, well, so the door led into the chamber of the mausoleum on the ground level. And then there was a door from there that led outside. So the door that's closed is the door that led into the main chamber of the mausoleum.
The door from, okay.
Yeah. And Red, you can see with your eldritch sight that the door is shining with abjuration magic. Very similar to the magic on the bronze door downstairs.
Don't touch the door. There's abjuration magic on it, similar to the one downstairs. Or touch it. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I just thought I'd warn you.
Heck.
And I think we're going to go ahead and stop there. It's 10:26, so you are trapped, quote unquote, in this tomb. And we'll find out next week what you are going to do to get out. Yeah, so it'll be exciting. And I have no idea yet how I'm going to bring Poppy back in next week, but I'll figure that out next week.
Have her banging on the door, guys.
Oh, guys! Yeah, that's a future Danielle problem. We'll worry about that.
Or she's the one behind the bronze
doors.
I will figure that out next week.
I was secretly casting Detect Poppy.
Detect Poppy. Oh, delightful. Okay. So we're going to take a quick moment. We'll go around. If you have anything you want to plug or, send people to, anything like that, by all means. And we will start with Sinju.
I'm on a Monday stream at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC. We're playing through Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and we are on the Fox and Penguin Show channel on Twitch. All in word, the Fox and Penguin Show. And I hope to see some of you there. I'm playing Grackle, a goblin rogue, and I'm pretty sure that we've just deposed a leader and put another one in his place for fun. That's all I got.
Nice. All right, Jake.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jake Friday. You can find me on Twitter at Jake Friday, on Instagram at Jake Friday. On Sundays, for the next 2 Sundays, on this channel right here, Trophy Gold at 11 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's a 2
o'clock Eastern.
2 o'clock. Thanks. Adding. It's just crazy. So, it's treasure hunting with a cool system. So, it's very deadly. And then Mondays, twitch.tv/Venture Ventures, I run a game, Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. And we play at 7 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's it.
Awesome. Robert?
All right, as far as RPGs are concerned, I'm here obviously every Wednesday. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. is Rise of the Rune Lords on the Fellowship of the Tables channel. Friday night, 10 p.m. all times Eastern U.S. I'm on Rule Zero Games, where we just finished Trials of Discontentment. We're getting ready to do a couple of one-shots, including a couple of Toys for Tots fundraising streams as well. So we will have that going on. Otherwise, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern is my Lego game series that I do on my Twitch channel, KY Hawkeye. We're currently doing Marvel Superheroes 2. We're just getting started on that. Thursday nights, so tomorrow night, 6 p.m., is my weekly Skyrim serial, where we're currently doing a series called The Dark Thalmor, where we have a member of the Thalmor who is seeking all the Daedric special items that are out there and might find himself involved with the Dark Brotherhood. And then Saturday nights, hopefully starting this Saturday, I think we've got everything caught up. I've adjusted everything over to WWE 2K20, the new game. So despite some of the things you may have heard about it having some bad bugs, it's not going to interfere with my streaming, and it'll be re-premiering as Grappler's Keep, because I can't use Saving Throw Wrestling because there's already a YouTube channel called Saving Throw that is D&D oriented. So to make sure I don't get any kind of nasty letter or something like that, it is now called Grappler's Keep, and it's a bunch of GMs, DMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe competing in the Dice Tray, the nickname we have for our wrestling ring there for their WWE universe. So otherwise, Cancer Cleric by day, RPG fanboy by night.
Excellent. And as always, I am your friendly neighborhood GM, Danielle. You can find me here at Variant Rolls on Fridays at 8 o'clock, where I play Harmony Ward in our Dresden Files RPG game, the Portland Files. If you like urban fantasy and magic and fairy wars, you should join us for that. And you can also find me on at Other Doc on Saturday nights at 8 p.m., where I play Vormerivanus in an Invisible Sun game called The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a very weird, strange, it's a very cool game from Monty Cook, and it is well worth your time to check out, so you can find us there for that. Also, if you like what we're doing here and you want to support Variant Rolls, you should check out the Patreon down below. All the information is there, or you can subscribe and sub to the channel. That would be good also. It's great to support everyone here. This is a really wonderful place with a lot of really wonderful people who are very supportive and caring of each other and really take the time to make sure that everyone is having a good time here. And so, if you're going to pick a channel, I'd say pick this channel. Plus, there's lots of really awesome and amazing games like Courts of the Shadowfae, which is on, I believe, Fridays. There's Urban Shadows, which is on Sundays. I think Grimfems is on here as well, which I've heard really amazing things about. Dan's got Project VHS going tomorrow. Lots of really cool, fun stuff that you should definitely check out. So that's my shtick. I hope you will join us next week when Hannah is back with Poppy and we find out what's going to happen next in this weird crypt thing. So have a good evening, and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.